Richie used to ride with me, but I was the driver. He was behind me, and then we used to drive through Port Antonio. And you would hear people, you know, because I always had a helmet on. People, yeah, hold on, Rasta! Hold on! You know. I think at one point in time, the bike got seized because the person that was riding it at that time was accused of stealing a goat and have the goat on the bike with him.
Another story time with mommy. Story time with mommy. So mommy is going to take over story time today again. So let's just dive right into the video.
Disclaimer: the stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica, and it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Okay, hi Mel's lovelies, one more day where I can tell you my stories. We are still in the years between 2018 to 19, and a few things happened in those times that we didn't get to talk about as yet. In 2018, Richie got some money from his family because they did sell a house that the mother did own, and a little part of the money was shared out between the siblings. So I have to give him that. He got a lump sum and actually gave me part of it, because at that time our finances were kind of troubled again, and then he just came and gave me about a third of the money and just said, here, for all the things you always do for me and buy, and I want to help out with a situation and I get a little money. So he gave that to me, which I found that very nice of him, because I mean basically he was a person who hardly ever had any money all those years, working with us, like us, just working with us and trying to get ends to meet. So I was really surprised and grateful that he did that. And then we had to make a plan what to do with the rest of the money, not we, him, because it was supposed to help him to do something for himself. It was not such a big amount of money, so the best idea seemed to buy a scooter and use that scooter basically, or use our restaurant or our location basically to park the scooter, so if people would see it, they could rent it. So we got this yellow nice scooter, and the funny part was, look at Mom. She decided she wanted to ride that scooter. So we got the helmet, we got everything with it, and honestly I hadn't been on any bike for years. But I mean, the scooter is not really a bike. It's like oh, that thing could go pretty fast though. It could do like 60 kilometers per hour easy, you know. So my first ride was kind of weirdish, you know. I had to get used to it again and try something, and I enjoyed it very much. So basically, when the scooter was not rented out, I would ride it. And then we made the experience. Richie did not want to ride it. None of my children did want to ride it. They were like, Mommy, you can do that. We don't want to go on this. And I said, okay, fine.
Well, I was not there. Probably.
You weren't there. But Mayumi was like, And even when Yasha came to visit and they saw me go down the road with that and drive, and he was like, yeah, Mommy, yeah. And then Richie used to ride with me, but I was the driver. He was behind me, and then we used to drive through Port Antonio. And you would hear people, you know, because I always had a helmet on. People, yeah, hold on, Rasta! Hold on! You know? Don't let go, you know, hold on good. And it was so funny. We were kind of getting famous through that. I was getting famous too. And then the amount of whistle I got when I drove through the town. And I always had the helmet on. So at one point in time I was thinking, well, obviously they can see it's a woman riding this. But if I ever take off that helmet and they see my face, I'm going to stop whistling right away. Because that old lady riding this scooter, that wouldn't be that funny for them anymore. Anyhow, that was a really nice experience having that thing. Only, well, business is business, right? So if you have something like that and you want to, the idea was to build up on it, like to buy basically up to 5 scooters and then officially declare it as a rental business. But one thing now with Richie, he is not very business minded. What he is very soft hearted. So when people came and then tell him some stories about, oh, I need to go urgently here and there and can you give me that, and can you give me a better price for it, and can you do it cheaper, and he would always melt and just say, all right, I will help you out. And basically that is not feasible, you know, with a thing like that. Plus, one person rented the bike officially, and when he brought it back, he lost the key. Right? I mean, you needed a key to start it, but the key would pull out, and then for some reason he lost the key. So luckily we had another key, but I mean that key was gone. So instead that Richie, I charge him for it now. And say, okay, fine, we need to get another key that go cost probably so and so much, pay me for it. Him let that get through as well, because that guy disappeared the next day, fly out back to foreign. A lot of situations happen where people would rent the bike and start to only pay him a little money first. Oh, me pay you when me come back. Stuff like that, you know. And and even my Yumi, and we were always like, Richie, please, this is a business. You have to be firm. You have to be tough. You cannot let it happen. And then people drop with it and run it into something. And after a short period of time, that scooter no look new again at all. Because I have a bend here and scrape there. And things, no, it was really sad. So instead of making money, this thing was basically a loss. And then the engine started to give trouble after a while. Luckily at that time we had a chef working with us that knew about bikes, and he would always be willing to fix it. But basically about after 1.5 years or so, we had to decide to let it go.
You had it so long?
Yeah, we had it, but it wasn't running the whole time. We had it over, well, at least over a year. Like from summer, I think it was summer 2018 to summer 2019. So Richie sold it for not even half of the price that he got it for. So basically this whole thing was at a loss. So that was his experience with doing his own business. The thing was too, we told him, you have to have a contract with the people, right? And we were even willing to research and write a proper contract, and one of his family members is a lawyer. He even would have helped him and set up the right way, but for some reason it never got to it. So that is why the losses could never be retrieved neither, because I mean there was nothing in writing. So nobody was feeling that they owed anybody anything. At one point in time, the bike got seized because the person that was riding it at that time was accused of stealing a goat and have the goat on the bike with him. And then the police came, arrested the guy and seized the bike. And then we have luckily the same family member that is a lawyer helped him out and went with him to, and I went there too because I had to ride back the bike. Came to the police station in Sansan and we talked to the police and we could finally get back the bike. But you see, all these kind of things happen with it, and basically it was not feasible, none at all. So as I was saying, after that period of time, that bike was gone. At the same time now, Mayumi was pregnant, and she told you about her pregnancy already. So basically she was very, very happy and very, I mean, she nothing whatsoever could trouble her. And she was still in the shop helping me working and hanging around, and her belly would grow and grow. So by March 2019, basically, no, we heard it from before, beginning of the year 2019, we heard that the new James Bond movie was supposed to be filmed partly in Port Antonio, and that the whole film crew would be there for 3 months and doing whatever they had to do, and we were like, yay, movie people, because basically when movie people come to Port Antonio, it always brings some money to everybody, because I mean they have to stay someplace, of course. They mostly cook their own food because they don't want to go to restaurant every day. So supermarkets would make money, right? And the hardware stores make money because they build a lot of things around the movie and need a lot of material. And in their free time, they would go to the restaurants, to the bars. And the crew of that movie consisted of 500 people. Can you imagine? 500 people would fly in from England and stay there for 3 months. I mean, basically, that's how I got to understand that Port Antonio has a lot of beds, though. I mean, all the bed and breakfast, the hotels, the guest houses, even private people. I mean, these 500 people, everybody of them got housed, and comfortably as well. The actors got some private villas up in the Sansan area. And actually, Mayumi's fiance was working for Daniel Craig house as security.
Daniel Craig is the actor for James Bond, right?
Yeah. And we got our part as well, because what happened is the people who would set the set to building the set, they discovered us early in the game, and they decided they would come for breakfast every morning, which was great, because I would be down there 9 o'clock, open up, and they would come about 10 minutes later and order what they wanted, and by 10 o'clock they were gone and start to work. And was a nice little income for us, and everybody was happy. Very nice people. I mean, in the 3 months we talked a lot and had fun together and laughed together a lot. And some of them would even, or others would come in the evenings when after work, or especially on the weekends, and have pizza, have fish, have whatever, you know, and because we had the bar, or have the bar on the corner, they would frequent the bar, and so the village at that time was very lively. At one point in time, they even had a big party there with 175 people, or no, they ordered 175 food from me and from the other 2 restaurants as well. So it was about over 500 food that were ordered all in all, and we had quite a few people there that evening partying and playing music, and we put up the food like buffet style, so everybody could serve themselves when they were ready to eat. The bar was rampacked and music was playing and people were dancing, and basically most of the people came from the film crew, and some of the actors as well. So I finally got to glimpse some of them from close. It was kind of interesting. And I mean, those 3 months were really, really nice, you know. I mean, very entertaining. and very good for our pocket. Trust me, it's the first time since we had that restaurant we made that much money per month. I was like, oh, this is wonderful, you know. And everybody around us had the same experience, and the people were all really nice people and helpful too, because I mean, there was one of the people that Bill said that they saw that one of our steps was not working anymore, was breaking down, and one day they just came with some material and fixed the steps, you know. Just so. Without any problem. And those things I really like. Oh, we are coming here every day, we can't afford to drop on that step, so we would have fixed it, you know. So that was really a very nice experience. That these people were there from March to about June, July. Now, especially one of the ladies that came for breakfast every day, she was so interested in Mayumi's growing belly, basically, you know. And as you might know by now, Kale was born on the 29th of April, so I was almost in the middle of her time that they were there. And so Mayumi didn't come in, of course, for a few days once she gave birth, but about a week later she started to come back in the restaurant with a little baby, and the lady was like, oh my god, look at this, and she was so in love with Kale, and she loved it. And even the other movie people, when they saw finally the finished product, they were so intrigued by it, because I don't think they get to see that often, like the end stage of a pregnancy and then to see the baby and on an everyday basis. So that was another nice experience. Some of them, these people from the set building, they were pretty much disappointed though with the Jamaican work ethics, because I mean, basically what they did, they needed, of course, people to help to build certain things. They had certain areas in Port Antonio where they not imported outside, and even within the town. I remember there were 2 Sundays where the entire town center was closed for everybody. I mean, people who wanted to pass through, they had to drive way around over the hill, because they were doing one scene with a lot of bikes, which our bike got rented for that too. Ooh, we made a little money for that. Yeah, the work ethics. So like, is a lot of people got jobs with them. I mean, apart from the 500 people crew that they brought, they employed a good amount. I mean, it must have been about the same amount of Jamaican people to do whatever jobs were necessary. And I remember when shortly before they were leaving, I talked to the people and I said, oh, so how did you like it here? And they said, well, the island is very nice, but why to deal with the people? They were very disappointed and they were pretty much fed up. And one of them said, I'm never coming back to Jamaica to work. Definitely not. I can't stand it. So of course that made me feel away, because I mean, we always try to accommodate people as much as possible and make them feel good and comfortable. And it was a bit rough to hear that the people here would not live up to standard, you know, although they had a good chance and earn a good money too, you know. So I was not too happy to hear about that.
Well, Jamaican work ethic is not.
It's so hard. It's really hard. What always astonished me though, Jamaicans who go abroad, they work good. They are even searched for. People over there say, oh, you're Jamaican, you can come work for me because we have good experience with Jamaicans. But when it comes to their own country, when they come back home and get jobs here and have something to do here, I don't know what happened.
I guess it has to do with the incentive As in, they know that they're earning a good amount for what they're doing over there and stuff like that.
Well, of course they
That
earn more. Yeah. Well, here you don't
so
get that.
There's
of
no
course.
motivation to do a good job.
True. Yeah, I can see that. But then again, it is basically, I always have been saying that Jamaica could be a real rich country if people would work properly here, because the possibilities here are almost endless. Starting with farming, you can farm the year round. Where I come from, Germany, we have winter. In winter you have 3 to 4 months where every farmer can do nothing. What they can do is prepare the fields for the next year, and not even that, because when it's snowing, when it's icy, when the ground is frozen, you cannot dig it up because it will destroy certain things in the ground. So basically, every year farmers are dormant for 3 months. In Jamaica, you can do things year round with everything. Take car mechanics. Jamaicans used to... I always used to love, when I first came to Jamaica, how ingenious the people here were, because I saw mechanics build mufflers out of water pipe. I mean metal pipe, of course, right? But they would build their own mufflers. They would fix cars that were practically only like rust here, hole there, rust here, hole there, and rebuild you a good looking car. Those years, that was when in the 80s, 90s. But nowadays, it's like you come with a little something, oh, you have to buy something new there. You know, nobody want to...
They got lazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's lazy or if it's just spoiled, or I have no idea what to call it.
Spoiled.
But it has suffered. The whole quality of work here has suffered so much, you know. And we have the same problem to find staff for the restaurant. They will perform good for a little while, and then suddenly things happen, and it's like they don't care anymore at all. Instead of taking some pride in your job, pride in, yeah, just come do your job properly. And if I do that, and I have been working from I was 14 years old, besides going to school, and it's like, if I do something properly, I feel good about it because I accomplished something good. Nowadays, people's like, sure, you know, I don't really have nothing to do properly anymore. As long as I get my money, by the time it's due, and then I can go home and do whatever with it. I don't care. I couldn't care less about my job. So all these things are very problematic in Jamaica nowadays. And when these movie people talked about it, and they gave me some examples to how things were working and so, and they were really fed up, which basically could cause that other film crews might hesitate to come back to Jamaica. And that time was really a wonderful, financially very successful time for Port Antonio, for the entire town basically. So I don't understand why people would let those chances slip away. You know, because
they're not viewing it like that, mommy.
No, I know they're not viewing it.
So them not gonna see it that way there.
Yeah. Because basically, if we would even get one film crew per year, and Port Antonio historically has been a movie spot since quite, I mean, we had Blue Lagoon filmed here, we had Club Paradise filmed here, we had Cocktail filmed here, Lord of the Flies, and all these, especially Lord of the Flies, this one movie, Night and Day, with Tom Cruise and what's her name, was filmed here as well. Clara's Heart, the beginning was filmed here. Then this one movie with Denzel Washington was done in Port Antonio. I mean, we have had quite a bit of exposure over the years, and basically Port Antonio itself, the whole ambience, the whole possibilities here were very much appreciated by the movie people. So I don't know if we are going to get a chance to even get another movie soon. I heard something that we might get
we
another
had one since year.
Yeah.
So it's
true.
not like it stopped. We had one since
Yeah,
year.
true. That was, which one was that again?
That was a series or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
series. True. But we never really found out about the name or what was happening, right?
On the Oprah Winfrey production.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly. They were supposed to, first we heard they were supposed to stay for 6 months, and then it turned out it was only 3 months. But yeah, they were here. But that crew was not so much integrated with everybody in the town like the James Bond people. And we have a lot of music videos filmed in our area here because it's just beautiful here. I remember when Rihanna was here doing something, Beyonce was here. Quite a few big people, and because yeah, Portland is basically predestined to be in those kind of movies or videos, you know. So hopefully we will get some more coming again. I wish, because like I say, everybody can profit off it. 2019, what else was in 2019? I think that was the highlights of the year, basically.
No.
What?
No.
Oh, Kaya was born too. In 2019.
And I graduated.
Excuse me, ma'am. How could I forget?
Exactly.
Well, that was by the end of the year anyhow.
Yes.
Let's talk about Kaya. Kaya is Yosha's third daughter, and Kaya decided to be born on Halloween.
Decided to. Yeah, she was supposed to be my second November baby, but she ditched me by one day. Yes,
she decided to come on Halloween. And
the first one decided to come on the 30th of October, and then the second one that was supposed to be born in November came on the 31st of October. Everybody had ditched my month, but it's alright. It's okay. I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, in that year November I went again to Germany
But I'm not going to tell her yet.
Oh no? Okay, anyhow, but I went again to Germany for the Christmas market, my usual 13 years in a row mother-son work at the Christmas market. So that would be in November, so I wouldn't be here for Christmas or anything for the year. When was the robbery?
What robbery?
Did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically, the year ended for me in Germany, and I guess what she has to tell you will come in another.
Well, the follow-up is going to be me completing 4 years of university and finally getting that bachelor degree. But since I haven't told you anything about my whole entire experience at the school and stuff, and the stuff that I had to do, or you know, obstacles and whatsoever, I'm going to put that in a separate video. So we're just going to focus that story time on Melody, you know, reaching that milestone. So that was pretty much the only update for the rest of 2019. So we have Mommy and Richie are right on yellow scooter, big bright yellow scooter, yellow like this.
Hold on, Rasta, hold on.
Yellow like this, imagine. And then Mayumi giving birth to Kale, and Yosha and Kerry having their last daughter being born, and you know, the good times of when the movie people were here. So this is pretty much it for today's story time. It's kind of short story time, but sometime
scrambled a bit too. But like I said, we did a lot of things today for the restaurant, so we are kind of
yes.
tired.
We have some updates coming for y'all.
Yeah.
So because we're opening back on the 1st of December, so we have to figure out a few stuff and get some stuff ready. But it is being recorded, so you will see it eventually, so no, don't be upset with us about the short story time, alright guys? But that is it. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.